Hey Blade fans, here we are again. OG Blade Reviews. That is I, that is me, etc., etc. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of reviews these past few days and been dropping roughly one a day to get through all the fantastic blades that I've either acquired or have been sent my way. And in this case, this was sent to me by the folks at Tenable, EDC Knives and Tools. What is it? Well, the label says it is a Gideon, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Nitro V, this particular one in Jade Green G10. There are at least 5 or 6 other models, so let's take a look. Packaging isn't too complicated with Tenable. You get a microfiber cloth. Yep. And you get a knife in a plastic bag, and you get a little fold out about Tenable. Stuff to read. That's it. No pouch because it is a budgety knife. And you'll see in a minute that these are coming in at a decent price. Tenable has been really offering some quality at a excellent price, definitely in the budget territory. About $66.89, I think, for this is what they're saying. But you can screenshot this, or I should say freeze frame it. That's about the design and about the designer. Features of the knife. Okay, so you can hang on to that info if you want. And about the design, and well, let's take a look at it while we're talking about it. So you've got something to see. Yeah, interesting design. Recurve, trailing point, hole opener. The Gideon is a formidable knife that pays tribute to its namesake, a beloved canine companion named for a mythical dragon. I would assume that is the designer's dog. Its design elements evoke the fierce majesty of these legendary creatures. Note the backspacer jimping, which resembles the textured scales of a dragon's hide. Handle tapers to a sweeping tail-like shape. All right. About the designer, Dead Sober Design began designing knives as a much-needed outlet during the challenging first years of their recovery. What initially started as an artistic experiment soon blossomed into a passion for the technical side of designs. And you can read the rest. It's more than I intended on reading. I know you don't like to stare at a knife and just hear me talk, but hey, that's what these reviews are about. Staring at the knife and hearing me talk. Stonewash finish. Very interesting, flat ground blade. And as I said, really nice green G10, which if you didn't know is the natural state of G10 before they dye it, color it in a million different colors. So, and yes, you can do that on your own with some RIT dye. This one taking to just about any color that you want to make it. Spoon sort of a clip, I would call it. Stainless steel, folded over, surface mounted with flat-headed screws. That'll work. And inside, because the light's shining through so nicely through that jade green G10, we can see lots of milled out pockets to lighten the knife, and it is light. The only opening method provided is that kind of a eye-shaped, I would call it, opening window. We don't call them holes anymore. We call them windows because they're getting bigger and bigger, and you can hold it up close to your eye and see the whole outdoors. A really nice chamfer here to the liner, exposed liners, I mean, it's not a complicated knife. It's on bearings, not quite drop shut yet. This is pretty much new out of the box. Here is the jimping that they say is like dragon scales. I've never seen dragon scales, but basically it's jimping that's been kind of slightly rounded over, so they're like bumps. And they do raise above the surface of the back of the handle. Handsome knife. I mean, and you can either thumb roll it. Can I thumb roll it? Wow. Get down here. Yeah, you got to get down there. But I'd say it's much more set up for a middle finger flick. Absolutely. Yeah, there you go. There's your drop shot. So a little bit of energy, and yeah, it comes out of there just fine. It is a big, significantly large hole. It's in Nitro V. There's Dead Sober. There's Dead Sober's logo. There's the name of the knife. Fairly small branding. Yeah, Tenable and Nitro V. And that's a model number there. There's your model number, which you could see more clearly on the box. Nice pivots. And we'll measure it up, weigh it up, whatnot, and then show you some of the other colors it comes in, and also some compares today. It's, for all the world, an 8-inch knife, but we're going to call it 8.15 to be as exact as we can be. 3.5-inch blade. They're labeling this both 3.5 and 3 1/4, but excuse me, it's a little under 3 1/4, more like 3 1/8 cutting edge. But you know, if you laid the tape this way on the edge, you probably get a little more because you got some curves there. Going to other dimensions, blade stock in millimeters, not particularly thick, 3.0 millimeters. Handle, 13.2 millimeters. In inches, going back to the blade, 0.11 and 0.52, just over a ½ inch. Was that point? Did it wander? 0.51. Finally, the weight. And we're set to ounces. Let's go back around to grams. Okay, and we got 105.5 grams. Call that. Ounces, only 3.72 ounces. As I said, nice and light. Not quite ounce per inch. Blade's a little shorter than that. But I would say, you know, my medium-large hand, I got 1 inch left over. It's not a small knife. Your effective jimping for your thumb is going to be on the spine, on the back spacer. All right? None in the middle, but you've got it here as well. You know, they call it a formidable knife, so I'm thinking maybe it was kind of designed with some tactical use in mind. Although it's going to have some nice slicing capabilities. It's about a 50% high grind, so not particularly a high grind. There's your reverse curve. There's your forward belly. And you do have a point that's pretty much in line with the main axis of the handle. See that? So yeah, you can stab with it. It's a pokey knife. And it'll cut too. And we've got, if you want to engage the tip, however, you're going to have to almost go to 90 degrees. So not a knife I would say is great for tip work unless you wanted to stand it up like that. However, you can engage the belly, the forward belly, pretty easily. Let me get a little paper and we'll see what it'll do. So right out of the box, let's see what we got. Seemed like it was going to be a little stubborn, but you know, It's working good. It's working good. So let's forget about that first wobble. I said we do some compares. I tried to find a knife in my vast collection, and it is pretty vast. Pretty vast. Qualifier on a magnanimous term there, vast. This is the Vostede Bellamy. They're about the same size, and if it weren't for the fact that this has that S-curve and is a little bit taller, they would be similar knives. We do have a clip going on the top knife, the Gideon, and we have more of a Bowie style clip, a little bit of a curve on the Bellamy. Bellamy is a nice knife. I mean, it's pretty lightweight. Yeah, you know what? This guy comes in, although this is not about the Bellamy, there is a review out there on every knife I show you on the table. Why would I miss them? So in ounces, this guy's under 3 ounces, like a 2.9. So I thought that the Gideon was light. This guy, very light. Nice textured G10. I think these are still available if you're interested. And they did this one in 14. No, 154 cm. Rich. Nice knife. What do we got in the pocket today? Well, I have the Sig Sauer made by Hogue K320 is the knife meant to go along with the P320 Sig. That's a Tonto version, and they do make a drop point version as well. I kind of like it because they do this. Do they call this piranha? I don't know if they do or not. I keep wanting to clean that spot off there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's there on purpose because that's where the clip lands. So they make it less rough right in the middle where you're going to pull it in and out of the pants pocket. That's neat. Jimping here on the liners, and a little jimping as a ramp on the blade. I like it. You're talking more money with this one than you are with the budget level $67, $68 Gideon. And I'm not sure what the price is on the Bellamy. But again, I don't want to dwell on that too much because we're really not talking about those knives today. We're talking about the Gideon. Last compare, we have the Benchmade Griptilian. Let's pull this one out. You can see size-wise, a little fatter handle, a little fatter across, rounded, contoured, and more of almost a spear point on that one. Same length though, and same length blade. Axis lock rather than a liner lock. Last look around, we found out it is sharp if you draw the knife properly, and it does have a little bit of bite to the edge. You could possibly improve this edge with some stropping, but you know, it's pretty nice the way it is. Definitely a workable edge. Those of you that sharpen a lot, you're going to want to put your own edge on just about everything you get. So that's cool. It is not a switchable clip. I didn't mention that, but only fits on the right side of the knife. I like that. It's almost a Spanish Navaja look to that handle. You know, it's got that, got those implications. One thing I did want to show you is a few of the other colors in case you're interested. If you do buy this knife at White Mountain, and I think they're available on White Mountain, you can get 10% off by using my discount code OG-Blade. Let's see. Can we find the other models here? Yes, we can. So we've got what looks like a black handle with a stonewash. We've got a black blade with a brown micarta, and black blade with a kind of a brown micarta too, and almost kind of a really bright green. And that's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models. In case you don't like the jade green, which I happen to like a lot. Let me know what you think. Right about now, as I like to say, over here, you're going to see my logo. Click on that logo. It'll direct you to a link where you can subscribe to the channel, and I hope you do, because you can be notified every time a new video is dropping or has dropped on my channel. Take care, stay safe, be well.